Hello, my name is Wilson, and I am Mukundama. So I wanted to share, I guess, the past couple months, just during the winter time. I live in the northeast coast of the US, and it's still in the middle of winter. And I think this winter and the past winter, I had noticed just a little more difficulty with the shorter daylight. I really love long days and the sunlight, and so I did notice last winter and this winter just a struggle more. And what it reminds me of is going back, geez, it was over 20 years. And I remember I was, for maybe about 2 years, maybe 3 years, it just seemed like I was just going through just consecutive days of just feeling really bad. And I didn't know it at that time, but I'd say I clearly had a clear case of clinical depression, but instead of seeking any type of help, I just managed to grin and bear it. And a lot of those struggles probably was the basis of my awakening and journey into spiritual deepening and spirituality, and ultimately was the basis of what I started to write, and which ultimately translated into the 2 books that I released 2019 and 2020, Spirituality for Real, Beyond the Incense and Meditation, and then there's the book 2 that follows after that. But what I wanted to share is just and why I bring this up is, so I'm in this place of just feeling a bit, maybe a little more tired, a little more, I don't feel like it. And so when I get to certain places, I just look for music that sort of matches where I'm at, to start to bring some inspiration, some healing for me, so that I can share. And I found this song, and what this song just reminded me of, it's a song that just makes me feel like there's more sunlight coming in. And I just remember, but way back over 20 years ago, I remember day after day. And back then I was working as an electrical engineer in a large chemical corporation. And I remember just every day going home, and at that time things were difficult. I was having a difficult time with my wife at that point. She was going through a lot of health issues. And I just remember, I guess the routine I remember was just day after day, I'd wake up in the morning and I wish I was dead. That's what I remember. I wish I was dead. It was just, and then I pull it together. I go to the bathroom, and then in 10 minutes, I was okay. I would go to work, get in the routine, go home, eat, sleep, and repeat. The next morning, I wish I was dead again. It was just so hard. And in 10 minutes, I pull it together, and I go on to my next day. And that happened day after day after day. For, I'm going to say, at least 2 years, day after day consecutive, maybe up to 3 years. But what I remember about that was one of those days, and I think it might have been a weekend day. So on a weekend, I didn't have to get up. If I felt terrible, I just could just sleep. And I was just so sad, and so, I just felt so terrible and wanted to die. And I remember the sun was just coming, and we were living in an apartment. I was looking out the bedroom window, and the shades were down, but I could see the sun kind of glinting through the shades. And it just, the strangest thing happened is I wanted to cry, so I was just so bad. And instantly, I was looking at the window, this glint of light, and I was in absolute ecstasy. Ecstasy, just, and it came from the heart. The way I could describe it is, it's like, it was like the strongest sexual orgasm, but just many times greater. But it was coming from the heart region. It was just, oh my God, that's what I remember. And then I was crying tears of joy. And I remember I was just, slightly sideways looking at the window on the bed, and I dared not move, because if I moved, I'd lose that sensation. And I just stood in that sensation, just absolute. I was happier beyond measure. It made absolutely no sense in the midst of endless depression. Absolutely no sense. And then with time, it faded away. And so that memory, that sensation, that's lived with me for such a long time. And there's been other times I've come close to that, but not quite as dramatic as that. But that memory, that sensation, it's so strong that even if I remember it, it's just, even that is quite powerful, but it wasn't quite as powerful as that first time. And so in this time, in the middle of winter, although now I'm happy because we're past the winter solstice, so the days are going to get longer and longer, and there'll be more sunlight. But I decided I'm finding a way of bringing back light now, that light that I saw in the place of ecstasy. And so this song is called Electrify, and it has that flavor, that essence, and I would like to share it with you. And I hope this brings some form of pleasure, some form of pick you up, wherever you are. I mean, if you're in a great place, wonderful, encourage you, dance with this music. If you're in a bad place, take it in. And don't be afraid. Please, if you need help, please ask for help. You don't have to do this alone. So with that said, I will say, my name is Wilson, and I am Mukundama. I hope you enjoy this next video. Thank you.